Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JV Survival. Today we're going to be talking about prepping for shit hits the fan, and kind of just whatever scenario that means for you guys. Again, there's a lot of different scenarios that can go into what shit hits the fan means. First thing you want to do is you want to get prepared up here. Right? You want to get mentally prepared for whatever it is that may happen, whatever it is that you're planning for, whatever it is you're not planning for. Again, it's just having an understanding up here, and recognition that things are probably going to be different, and life's probably going to suck for a little bit. And again, just for whatever rules without rule of law, whatever it is, again, being mentally prepared. Now, once you had that kind of squared away, and you think you're all squared away up here, the second part is going to be getting physically prepared. Right? You want to be physically fit. You want to be mentally fit, then physically fit. Now, myself, I kind of lost my shape over the years, but I'm trying to slowly get back. So I'm hitting the gym over the last few months, and guys, it's going to be requiring a lot here for you. You know, if you're one of these couch potatoes, it's probably not going to be good if you got to go hump it a few miles. Believe me, I know. Just tried to run a few miles a day, and it freaking sucked. Again, so hit the weights, drink more water, do some cardio. Right, get out there and move around, get your shit squared away. If you have to go hump it up a flight of stairs and you're out of breath, or you're too large where you can't easily move through certain terrain, obviously you're going to be a detriment to yourself. So again, you want to get yourself squared away. So again, outside of all of that though, right, once you have yourself mentally prepared for whatever it is that may be coming, get yourself a little more physically inclined to actually be ready to prepare for some of the shit. You want to get some of the basics right now, right? So it's no different from your kind of your gear, right? So from your bug out bag, and again, if you're not even one of those people, you're not that far along, you don't even have that, I would start with just some EDC, right? So just get yourself some everyday carry items. Get yourself a pocket knife, get yourself a little flashlight, throw a lighter in your pocket. A few dollars, you can get yourself pretty much just some basic EDC stuff. That's a good spot to start. If you're not really sure that you want to commit the time, the resources, or maybe you don't have the time and resources to put into it, start with just some basic EDC stuff. You don't have to necessarily get the firearms and all the gear. You don't have to be all tactical out, bro. But you can get some of the basic stuff just to get started. So yeah, part of being mentally prepared is understanding that, are you ready to do the things when the things need to get done? Understand that you may have to drag some people. You may have to do some things that you're not normally gonna do. You gotta really think outside the confines of what normal is, and you gotta be locked in up here to understand you gotta do the shit that you might not want to do, but you have to do. And again, physically fit, guys, if you're not physically fit, you're gonna be screwed. You know, here I am now, you know, finally getting back into it. Mentioned 245. All right, I mean, I still got a long way to go myself, but guys, if you have a hard time trying to drag somebody, even a small child, you're gonna be screwed. You need to be able to drag at least an adult-sized person for a fair amount of distance, right? There's different ways you can carry that, a lot of different tactics just for that in itself, which we'll go over a completely different video. But again, if you can't move the basic shape, if you can barely move yourself, what good are you gonna be to yourself? Right, again, so once you get kind of mentally squared away and you start working on yourself, getting yourself more fit, I'll tell you right now, man, I hate doing cardio. I hate doing the cardio as much as anybody else, but I will force myself to get out there and hump it for a mile, 2, 3 miles. And half the time, if I'm walking and just trying to push myself, right? I mean, you guys got to get out there and do it. It's a big point here, right? I mean, look at all the military. These guys are doing a lot of PT for a reason. You know, you as a civilian, you think you're just going to be able to make it just by getting up off the couch every once in a while. It's just not enough. You got to really get out there and put the effort in. Now, again, other parts of trying to prepare for just fan is trying to get your family on board, right? So whether it be your significant other, parents, whatever it is, whoever's in your household, is really trying to get them on board with this as well. Now, that's going to be tough. I mean, that's a completely it's a completely interesting thing. Some folks may be very on board. Other people may be very hesitant, may be skeptical, may even ridicule you. So how you go about that? I mean, you want to probably at least start the conversation in some manner. You know, kind of bring it up in another news, like, hey, maybe we can grab some of this, or maybe we can grab some of that. You know, maybe grab some extra rice or some extra beans, or maybe a case of water or a couple gallons of water here and there. Hey, maybe, you know, can I throw, you know, some, can I start a little, like, flower pots or something, you know, start doing some garden stuff, right? Start doing some small scale things, and see how it goes, you know, but you got to start that conversation, because if things happen, that's not the time to start that conversation, right? That should be happening way before, so when things happen, you're prepared and ready to go. So what are some of the basic preps? Again, guys, same thing: food, water, I would definitely get some kind of some knives, some firearms if you have the opportunity. Again, start with some EDC type stuff, and then just go on from there, right? So again, get your bug out bags. Again, a lot that's also going to depend on your location, right? What is your plan, right? So developing a plan for yourself. You know, are you going to bug in? Are you in a good area? You know, what's your population density like? Yeah, are you in a really urban area with a lot of people around? It's probably not a great spot to be if shit starts going down, right? If you're in a city, Godspeed. I don't know what to tell you, but it's not a place I would want to be. You know, again, look at your population density, and you're gonna say, well, how am I supposed to know that? I don't really know. I think there's a few people in my town. Well, here's an idiot's way of doing it, right? Google your town. It's very easy to find your population, right? Now, look at Google Maps. Again, you don't even have to buy anything. Look at Google Maps, right? And do some basic stuff. Take a screenshot of it, right? Go on Paint, an application on pretty much any computer at this point. And go ahead and just Google all the little towns around you, right? Look at 10, 15, 20, 30 towns around you. Google those towns, get the populations, and go ahead and just put the number on that town, so you get an idea of where your population concentrations are. And again, if those areas are still not great and are pretty high population concentrations, keep going. Don't stop, within that, say, 1 hour radius. Maybe keep going. Maybe you have to find that place until there's a population of 30,000 or less, or 10,000 or less, whatever kind of fits your needs and what's also practical. Also, if you are going to bug out because you're not in a good spot, how are you going to get there? Now, are you going to be in a vehicle? Are you going to be on foot? Are you going to be on a bike? How are you going to get there? That's also going to play into what your gear is going to look like. Again, if you're going to be walking it, you're going to want to carry, 120 pounds of gear? Probably fucking not. Let's be honest here. Most of you guys probably, if you're not in the haven't been in the military, or even if you're just not an avid hiker, I can tell you right now, carrying 40 pounds of gear sucks. So yeah, you just really think about what it is that you're carrying. Again, improve your skill set, because the more skills you have, the less stuff you probably need, within reason. So when it comes to bug out, now if you're on a bicycle, you're only going to be able to do so much. Think about the distance you can be able to cover in a certain duration. Also think about the major routes. Are those routes going to be compromised, right? So you got to be really careful. If you have some of these roads that people have blockaded, or they just aren't safe to go on, it's something you have to consider as well. Now, again, if you have a vehicle and you do have a location you're going to go, first of all, you need a location. So if you're going to bug out, what's the location you're going to go to? Is it safe? Do you know about it? Are you just picking a random spot on the map and just aiming for it and saying, Godspeed, hopefully this works? Hopefully there's something at the other end, but you should definitely do the research now. Have an idea, have a game plan. Do you know friends? Do you have family? Do you have people with resources and time and a location to go to? It's all going to be really important things. And again, start having these conversations with your folks if you haven't already. We're also going to do another conversation, another video about community, about developing a community, how to find a community. And that way you have some resources. Again, lone wolf thing is not ideal for this type of situation. You're going to want to get other resources and other people involved.